Hey, Red Devils. My name is Jason Sasser. I'm the Career Tech Director for Phoenix City Schools. My office is located right here on the campus of Central High School in the center of the Career Tech building. I'm going to begin the Student Handbook review with you today, starting with some general information followed by graduation requirements, and that'll end this first segment of the handbook review. I've created a slideshow that I'll start right now, and you can just follow along as we go. Starting off with the class dues. These are the dues associated with each class here, freshman through senior year. If you are not current on these class dues, you need to make these payments in the main office here at Central High School. You can see Miss Kathy Tadlock in the office. She will most likely be the one that can assist you with these dues. All dues must be paid in full in order for you to participate in any part of the graduation ceremonies. Okay, let's start looking at the graduation requirements. 25 credits are required to receive a high school diploma from Central, okay? You need 4 credits of each of the core classes, that is English, science, math, and history. All right, you need 1 credit of what we call life, which is a PE class, or its equivalent. Maybe you've had ROTC, athletic PE, marching band. Those things typically substitute for your full credit of life or PE. If you have any questions, see a guidance counselor about that. You also need a half credit of health, 1 full credit of a class we call career preparedness. That class is required for all high school students in the state of Alabama. You need 2.5 elective credits. And then you need 3 credits of what we refer to here locally as the big 3. That is career tech, foreign language, or fine arts. Or you could have a combination of those 3. For example, maybe you took a career tech class freshman year and sophomore year, but then you decided that class wasn't for you, so you got out and you went into drama. Well, that would be a combination of the 3, and that's just one example. You know, maybe you had band for the first couple of years, then you got out and you went into career tech. As long as it totals up to 3, you've met that requirement. Just keep one eye on that, okay? Your counselors, again, can be helped there. We have a few different diploma endorsements that you can pursue. There is 1 Alabama high school diploma, but each school is left to define endorsements that you can earn. Here's a list of the endorsements and the requirements for each, okay? If you're pursuing the academic honors endorsements, see the requirements below. 14 honors level courses, 8th grade through 12th grade. 8th grade is included because of our accelerated academy, and some students started earning high school credits while in the 8th grade. Okay, you have to have a minimum of Algebra 2 with trig, math-wise, and 1 foreign language. For the technical endorsement, you need 3 sequenced career tech courses in addition to the career prep requirement. In fine arts, you need 3 sequenced courses in fine arts. That would be band, art, drama, chorus. Okay, for the foreign language endorsement, again, 3 sequenced courses in a foreign language. All right, some students end up earning a couple of different endorsements depending on the coursework they've chosen to take. We offer dual enrollment and AP courses at Central, and basically here's the difference. A dual enrollment course is a class in which you were enrolled as a student here at Central High School as well as enrolled in a college for that same course, that same credit. Our dual enrollment courses primarily go through CVCC. We do have a couple of cohorts that are participating in a Gear Up dual enrollment situation through the University of Alabama at Birmingham. All right, so you are earning, while you're enrolled in those classes, credit here in high school as well as college credit. Okay, once your tuition is paid at the collegiate level, then that credit goes towards college and high school. All right, AP is a little different. AP is taught here locally by a certified teacher at Central. You take a culminating exam at the end of that course that covers the content for the entire year. There is a fee for that test, $93. That fee can be waived for those of you who meet the qualifications for free or reduced lunch. Those tests are scored on a numeric system of 1 through 5, with 5 being the best that you can earn on the test. Different colleges and universities award credit for different scores. So if you've got your heart set on, I don't know, Arkansas, then you might want to check and see what their AP score is that they are accepting for credit, because it may be different from, say, Auburn. Okay, so just check into the college that you're looking to go to see what their cut score is as far as the AP exam score goes. Here's a list of all of the weighted coursework that you can choose to take while here at Central. A lot of these are senior level courses, but not all of them. Okay, these courses carry an additional 10 points in their final average when we are calculating GPA points for the purposes of determining class rank in the top 10%. Okay, you typically have to be recommended for a lot of these classes, or have a parental override letter allowing you to take that course if your teacher did not recommend that. That concludes this portion of the Student Handbook review. There will be more to come. Stay tuned, Red Devils. Hey, Red Devils, Mr. Sasser again. I'm going to continue with my portion of the Student Handbook review. Let's go to the presentation. Starting with credit and grade recovery, as well as credit advancement. Okay, this program is for students who have failed a course that is required for graduation here at Central. Credit recovery means you have failed that course with a score of a 59 to a 40, and you are going to recover the objectives associated with the things that you failed. Okay, grade recovery means that you have failed it with a grade below a 40, in which case you are going to need to retake all objectives for that particular course. All right, credit advancement means that you are taking a class to get ahead. It is a class that you've never had in the classroom before, and you're taking that this class on your own accord, either after school or in summer school, to get that credit and to make room in your schedule or potentially graduate early. Okay. There will be one after school session for each quarter of the school year, including 2 sessions in summer school, an AM session that's from 8 to 12 and a PM session that is from 12:30 to 4:30. All right. The maximum grade you can receive for a credit recovery class is a 70, because you are only taking the content of the objectives that caused you to fail the class originally. Half credit courses are $75. Full credit courses are $150. Ms. Allison Johnson is the administrator over our credit and grade recovery and credit advancement program. Her classroom is located inside of the Media Center. The first session is already underway, so if you've missed sign-ups for that, please look for the announcements for session 2, which will be in the second quarter of the current school year, and make sure that you sign up at the appropriate times. It'll likely be on the stage in the cafeteria during your lunch waves. Community service is a requirement for graduation at Central High School, and you can see the details outlined here. Phoenix City School students are required to complete a minimum of 55 unpaid community service hours before graduation. And then you see the recommendation by the administration here, the breakdown of the hours. 10 your freshman year, 15 your sophomore year, so on and so forth. Now, do we have students that knock out 55 hours before their sophomore year? Yeah, we do. Okay. Do we have some that wait until their senior year and get them all in? Yeah, we've had those too. So it's easier on you to get them a little at a time as you go throughout your high school career. So don't lose track of that. The official documentation is required. There are community service forms located directly outside of my office here in the Career Tech building. There are also forms available to you on Miss Jenkins' side of the cafeteria. The main office on the cafeteria side of the main office at Central High School. Just pop in, say you need a community service form, they'll point you in the right direction. Once those are filled out completely and signed by the person that supervised your community service, then you return those forms to those same locations. There's a drop box in the main office on Ms. Jenkins' side. There's a drop box right here outside of my office in the Career Tech building. That ends this portion of the Student Handbook review. Stay tuned for more. Hey, Red Devils, Mr. Sasser again. This is going to conclude my portion of the Student Handbook review. We're going to be taking a look at career tech courses starting now. Again, from your Student Handbook, I have completed this slideshow here for you to follow along. Career tech courses are electives, okay? They are available to all Central High School students. Some of them have fees associated with them that are required for the program, and other courses don't. Same thing with insurance. Proof of insurance is required for a lot of our classes, such as the shop-based classes where you could be operating torches or saws or mixers or what have you, while other classes like our business classes, the proof of insurance is not necessarily a requirement. Okay, there is a safety test required for all career tech programs. That safety test must be passed with a 100% accuracy. You can be remediated and test again if you don't make that 100, but a 100 is required by the State Department of Education in order for you to participate in the labs associated with the course. Okay, Co-op is a career tech program. There are requirements for you to be in the co-op program. That's typically going to happen your senior year. You have to have sequenced courses through Career Tech. You have to apply for co-op the year before you enter the program. Our co-op supervisors are Miss Terry Daniels and Miss Alicia Cook. They are both located in the Career Tech building. That's where you can find them for information. If you're interested in joining the co-op program and you meet those requirements next school year. Exam exemption. This applies to all of your courses here at Central, okay? The requirements to exempt your exams, that is a midterm exam or a final exam, are spelled out for you here on this slide, okay? Students may exempt any and all exams if they meet the criteria below. Number one, you've got to have an A in that particular class. Number two, you can't have any discipline-related attendance entries causing you to miss that particular class. Okay? And there are also annually determined requirements based on different assessment scores or college readiness indicators that the administration here at Central may implement. Depends on what we have going on that particular year. For example, recently students that improved 2 points or more on standardized tests were rewarded with a lunch on the school. So we may come up with something similar for you to be able to exempt an exam based on that. I will caution you, though, that students that are in dual enrollment courses cannot exempt their midterms or their finals, even if they meet these requirements. Because you were also enrolled at that particular school, CVCC or UAB, and they do not allow exemptions. So even if you meet the requirements for a dual enrollment class, you cannot exempt that exam. All right, any questions? Again, my office is located here in the Career Tech building. My name is Mr. Sasser. Stop by and ask at any time. Have a great Red Devil year.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Parker. I'm here to talk about my portion of the Student Handbook with you all. Let's start with skipping. First of all, skipping is not just not going to class. It's being too late to class, or it's being somewhere you're not supposed to be. If you're caught skipping, the first offense is 1 day of ISS. The second offense is you are suspended pending a parent conference. For the third offense, you get 1 day of suspension and a referral to a guidance counselor. Fourth offense is 3 days of ISS. And finally, the fifth offense is a suspension pending a hearing with the principal. And during this time that you're waiting on your hearing, you will be placed in care. Let's talk about the tardy policy. First of all, you are considered tardy when the tardy bell rings. Students will be sent to the office to get a pass and gain entry into a class. If a student checks in after missing the previous period, they are absent from the missed period and tardy to the period they checked into. Disciplinary actions for excessive tardies, and you guys pay attention to this because this is going to get you. First of all, a tardy referral will be written on the 4th, 6th, 8th, and 10th tardies to each class. And you can see here what the different consequences are. The first tardy referral is simply administrative detention for 2 days. Second tardy referral will be an ISS for 1 day. Third tardy referral, suspension pending a parent conference. Fourth tardy referral is ISSP for 3 days and a guidance counselor referral. The fifth tardy is out of school suspension for 1 day. Sixth tardy referral is out of school suspension for 2 days. And then seventh tardy referral is a suspension pending a hearing with the principal. And again, you will be placed in care until the time of that hearing. Tardy from lunch. This is a big one, guys, so pay attention. Students returning too late from lunch must report to the attendance clerk for an unexcused tardy pass. Regular tardy procedures will be followed as long as the student does not report to the attendance clerk beyond the allotted time considered for just being tardy. If a student is outside of that time frame, and this is the biggie, then they will be issued a skipping referral. So not only can you be late to fourth period twice, but you can also be late and get a skipping referral. So bottom line, make it back from lunch on time. All right, totally different change of plan here. Bus behavior. All right, it has nothing to do with tardies, but bus behavior. Please notice that since the bus and bus stop are extensions of the classroom, the board requires students to conduct themselves on the bus in a manner consistent with established discipline policies of the Phoenix City Board of Education. Here's the biggie. A student who becomes a disciplinary problem on the school bus may have his or her transportation privileges suspended. And I know you guys have heard my spiel before about how riding the bus is a privilege. It is not a right. We have the opportunity and the right to take you off at any given time. So here's the bottom line, guys. Behave and do what the driver asks you to do, and you won't have any problems. Cell phones and earbuds. Starting today, earbuds and headphones are not allowed from the call-in bell at the beginning of the day to the dismissal bell at the end of the day. That means we will take your earbuds and your headphones, and us administrators are quite competitive, so we do try to see just how many we can get during the class changes. Cell phones, okay, please note that cell phones are allowed. We're not telling you that you can't have them. However, you need to follow the policies and procedures of each of your teachers. Last, we will take your devices if you cannot follow these policies and procedures. So if a cell phone ends up in my possession because you wouldn't cooperate with the teacher, it's going to be mine for a hot minute before you can have it back. So just know that you've been warned. Teacher detention. All right. You may be required to stay before or after school for misconduct. All students who are assigned detention will be given a written 24-hour notice to arrange transportation. Failure to stay for detention may result in additional disciplinary actions. Bottom line, guys, if a teacher gives you detention, stay for their detention because it's probably going to be shorter than what we would give you. Administrative detention. Students are assigned to administrative detention by the administrative staff. That would be us. Offenses range from possession of illegal items at school, public displays of affection, etc. Now, here's the change from last year, and pay attention. Administrative detention meets Monday through Thursday from 8:15 a.m. to 9 o'clock a.m. Students assigned to administrative detention must meet in the designated facilitator's classroom no later than 8:15 a.m. Please note, late attendees will not be permitted, and students must be on time, sign in, and arrange for transportation prior to their assigned day of administrative detention. Failure to show for administrative detention will result in suspension. Again, we're changing the times so that we have administrative detention during the morning. That means you have no excuse for not being here. However, chances are good your bus is not going to arrive on time for you to be here by 8:15, which means you're still going to have to make arrangements to get to school. So make sure you're here if you're given administrative detention. Dress code. All right, here we go. This is the biggie. First and foremost, I'm not going to read all this to you. Y'all can read that. But you know that there are certain things you can and cannot wear to school. Bottom line, if you can't follow the policy, then there are consequences for not dressing appropriately. So let's look at what can and can't be worn so that there's no confusion. All right, what not to wear. All right, first and foremost, ball caps, stocking caps, sweatbands. Yes, this includes the Nike bands. You cannot wear bandanas, hair rollers, hairnets, skull caps, etc. This year, the only thing that we are allowed to be worn on the head are bows and scrunchies, period, end of discussion. So head wraps and the sweatbands and all that other kind of jazz that you've been wearing up until now will no longer be tolerated. So make sure that you take care of your hair, edges are done like you want them done or whatnot, because there will not be any excuses for wearing a headdress. All right, another thing not to wear. Clothing that reveals the body in an inappropriate manner. For boys, your shirts must have sleeves. And guys, I get it. When you're coming out of PE and it's 150 degrees outside, you are hotter than a mug. But I still need you to put a full shirt on. I don't want to see your hairy armpits. For girls, clothing may not be too tight, too short, bare midriffs, bare at the sides, off the shoulder, low cut in the front or back, or sheer. Bottom line, girls, you don't want to see me dress this way, so you don't dress this way. And we will start cutting down on the if it's too tight, too short, and all that kind of stuff. So please make sure you dress appropriately. Another thing that you can't wear, pants with rips or see-through areas that are above the fingertips, with exposed skin or undergarments. All right? We don't want to see what kind of underwear you have up underneath, what kind of shorts you're wearing, any of that kind of jazz. If you have rips or holes in your pants, they have to be below the fingertips, bottom line. Another thing, shorts, dresses, skirts, or jumpers that do not extend to the fingertips. Now, girls, I get it. Some of y'all have just the opposite problem that I have. Your legs are way too long, okay? That's not the problem that I have. Mine are too short. But either way, your dresses and stuff cannot be above your fingertips, period, end of discussion. That includes shorts as well. All right, other things, and I've seen quite a bit of this. Biker or spandex shorts. All right, guys, they are no more after today. You cannot wear them to school. Baggy or sagging or oversized garments, pajama pants or sets, and clothing that exposes your undergarments. Okay, I don't want to know what color bra you have on. I don't want to know what kind of underwear you have on. So please make sure that your clothing fits appropriately. Another thing, clothing that depicts or suggests lewd or profane words or designs, drug products, alcohol products, or tobacco products. Can't wear house shoes. Girls, even the fuzzy ones, I know they're cute and all, but we can't do it. All right, you should not be wearing sunglasses or safety glasses outside of labs or shops. And finally, you should not be wearing jewelry or accessories that distract other students or interfere with the learning environment. Just some things that could fall into this category are chains, spikes, collars, those kind of things. Again, guys, we're trying to prepare you for the real world where you have to dress like you want a job. So now's as good a time as any to get started on that. So I need you to look in the mirror and ask yourself every day, should I wear this to school? And if the answer is no, then don't wear it, because we're going to start cracking down on it. All right, totally unrelated to dress, fighting policy. All right, bottom line, if you get in a fight at school, you will go for a hearing, period, end of discussion. And then wherever the pieces fall, that's where they fall. This also, guys, let me just note here that if you are caught filming a fight, you will also go for a disciplinary hearing. So Let's just, at the end of the day, let's just not do it. Food and drink policy. Food items that are purchased in the cafeteria or from the vending machines must be consumed in the cafeteria and not taken down the hallway or into the classrooms. All right, now I wasn't born overnight, and I understand that there are certain teachers that allow you to have drinking food in their classroom. That is their prerogative. What we are asking of you is that you don't carry this stuff down the halls. Particularly lunch trays, that's a no-no. They cannot come out of the cafeteria, period. And I don't care if you're going to eat in a teacher's classroom or whatever. Open food, open containers like cups of ice, cups of water, all that kind of stuff, that's a no-go. So make sure those things stay in the cafeteria. All right, alternative placements, you guys know what these are. You can either be placed in ISS, we can send you to care, OSS is out of school suspension, or we can place you at the Success Academy. These are all alternative places that we can send you if your behavior gets out of hand. All right, potty mouth. This is the use of unchaste language. Now, if you don't know what unchaste language is, Google it. But it's considered to be in poor taste whether it is directed toward others or if it's simply used conversationally. Profanity shall be interpreted as any profane, vulgar, or unnecessarily crude utterance or gesture, and that's important. Such language and gestures are unacceptable on the school campus and are strictly prohibited. Please note, and I've highlighted it here for us, profane language directed towards a school board employee will result in suspension and recommendation for a disciplinary hearing. So, bottom line, clean your mouth up, please. All right, PDA, public displays of affection. Don't do it. Nobody wants to see all that. Tobacco and vapor possession and or use. All right, so the use of or the possession of tobacco products is prohibited on all school board property. That's not just here at Central High School. That's at the football games, the basketball games, whatever activity you're attending. Any vaping device will be immediately confiscated and must be picked up by a parent or guardian. And you can see here the different offenses. First offense, you get 2 days of administrative detention and parental contact. Second offense, you get 2 days of ISS. Third offense is a hearing with the principal, and as always, you'll be placed in care until this hearing has occurred. All right, emergency drills. I'm not going to take the time to go through all of that, but your teachers will review each drill when it comes time to execute that drill. Internet acceptable use policy. All right, bottom line, inappropriate use of your Chromebook could result in a disciplinary hearing. Please don't be on sites doing things you should not do, and you know what those are. I don't think I need to get into that. If you're caught doing it, you will go for a hearing. So make sure you make wise choices. All right, final comment. After all is said and done, you know, we're not trying to be hard noses with you guys, but we do have high expectations. So at the end of the day, I'm going to ask for you to make wise choices. You know what we expect of you, so act accordingly, and you will have nothing to worry about. However, failure to comply with our expectations will result in consequences. Love ya.
Good morning, Red Devil Nation. This is Mr. Griffin, one of your assistant principals. I have the pleasure of reviewing the Student Handbook from pages 60 to 79. So please pay attention because consider this your warning. All right, let's start off with the library and conduct. Make sure you are aware of the hours. They're from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Make sure that you obey all of the rules of the library as you would in the classroom or in the school. You are allowed to check out up to 4 books at a time. Please do not keep them over 2 weeks. Lockers. If you're interested in a locker, come to the front office across from my office to see the ladies in that office, Miss Tadlock, Miss Wade. You must pay a $5 maintenance fee if you are interested in having a locker. You need to know that only one locker per student. You are not to share lockers. Medication, all medication should go through the front office and the nurse. If you have a question about what is allowed and what is not allowed, come see Nurse Boyano. You are allowed to self-administer certain medications like inhalers, insulin. But if you have a question about other medications, come by or get your parents to come by, because they must submit this medication to the nurse for administration. We do encourage you to take your medications before coming to school, but in the event that you do need medication during the day, get your parents or your guardians to come up, sit with the nurse, and we have a good plan for that. When it comes to athletics, make sure that if you can't make the grade, you can't play. So make sure you're keeping up on your grades, you're on track to graduate. Make sure if you do have to do any type of summer school, that you need to know that you can only make up 2 credits during summer school. Pretty much you need to pass all your cores and make sure that you're on track. If you have any questions about being eligible academically, see your coach or talk to Coach Wright or one of the other athletic directors, so we can make sure that you are on track to be an outstanding Red Devil athlete. When you're parking on campus, you must have an up-to-date and valid parking permit. You can get one from the same office across from my office for $5. You must have your proper insurance, your proper driver's license, and registration. Make sure that this parking permit is displayed through the front. You can hang it from your rearview mirror. Make sure that you know if you park on campus, you are subject to any type of search that we seem to think we need to do to make sure that everything is safe on campus. When it comes to driving on campus, make sure that you know you must obey the posted speed limits. Make sure you know you must be safe. It's really busy in the afternoon and you need to be patient. And I have observed a lot of good, safe driving practices on campus. I'm usually the person that you will see in the afternoon. So if I see anything that I think is unsafe, you and I will have a talk the next day. And if I keep observing unsafe driving practices, you will not be allowed to drive on campus. Make sure you know that there's no loud music. And if you have to go to your car during the day, you must get a pass from the front office. You need to know that you cannot leave during lunch and go get something to eat from a local establishment. You must be checked out anytime you leave campus or you have a valid and supported reason to leave campus. And in the afternoon, we've had a recent spat of people trying to catch their rides on Dobbs Drive. This is not allowed. You will receive discipline over this because it's just unsafe. You're going to have to go through the pickup line like everyone else. So make sure we're not catching rides on Dobbs Drive. All right, Pep rallies will be announced. Make sure that if you have a theme that it goes through administration. You need to know that there are no outside visitors allowed. If they would like to view a pep rally, it will be live streamed. All right, when you're on a school field trip or any type of sponsored trip, make sure that you're following the rules. Make sure that you have gotten in your permission form in a timely manner. And make sure that you dress and adhere to the rules. We don't allow people to drive their own cars unless it's just a very special circumstance. And please know if your behavior has not been good during the school day before this, that you might be omitted from a field trip. All right, Student Council is a wonderful organization we have here. We have great sponsors, Miss Perkins, Miss Banks, Miss Pelkey, and Miss Laney. If you're interested in serving as a student council person later on, please see one of these fine sponsors. Each class will elect a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. So see any of these Red Devil sponsors if you are interested. Homecoming, make sure that you know that discipline referrals or alternative placements can eliminate you from being qualified to run for homecoming. Your candidates must be on track to graduate, and you need to know that you will be required to submit an application to the student council sponsors by the announced deadline. More to come on that. Withdrawals, mainly you need to know that your parent or guardian must come up and initiate the withdrawal process. And when it comes to transcripts, transcripts can be ordered through Parchment, and they're only available for graduates and seniors. If you are needing a transcript and you're going to another school, that school receiving you must request all your information to include transcripts. Visitors. Occasionally we have people come up and visit their students or have lunch with them, and that's fine, but they must go through the front office. We don't allow people to just walk on campus because this is a safety issue. So make sure that if you have someone coming by to visit you, I'm talking about in the front office or during lunch, I'm not talking about in the classrooms, make sure they obtain a visitor's pass and they go where they say they're going to go. Anybody unauthorized to be on campus will be considered trespassing. All right, Winning Attitude Fridays. This is a great event we have for our kids who are doing what they should be doing in the classroom. To qualify for WAF, as we call it, you must have 0 referrals for the previous 9 weeks, because you can be disqualified if you do have a referral. And you must have a grade of 75 or better for each class. And we're not counting credit recovery or grade recovery on this. All right, when it comes to the community relations, of course, you see our ROTC department does a great job putting up and taking down our flag, and we say the pledge every morning. So please give the proper respect when it comes to this. If your parents need their password or login information, they can see any counselor or administrator or Miss Buchanan in the front office, and we can give your parents their iNow login. I'm sure you want them to have this. And when it comes to media coverage, it goes through Central High School. Red Devil TV does a great job with this. And anything that we show or is shown has to be approved. All right, make sure you're up on the parent notice and announcements. Make sure that you have signed up for Remind 101. The information is shown here. Make sure that you get this, and make sure you tell your parents how they can continue to get updates on what's happening throughout the school year. If you are in need of a parent-teacher conference, you have to go through your counselor or an administrator to set this up. The mornings are very, very busy, so these should be done well in advance. And we have to make sure that the teachers are available to talk about any topic that needs to be discussed. Just know when it comes to bullying that this is something that we will not tolerate at Central. So please let us know if you're having any type of issues, or if you know of someone that might be having issues that maybe they really don't want to speak up. But we will correct this issue if needed. And there is a form located on page 77, and we're always available. So if you have an issue, stop a counselor, stop one of the administrators, and let's work it out, okay? Well, that ends my part. I'm looking forward to a great 2019-2020. Let's have a great Red Devil year.